As per Pierre LeBrun, the New York Rangers have officially dealt Ryan Reaves to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for a 2025 fifth-round pick. No salary is being retained. This trade pretty much just comes hours after he was put as a healthy scratch against Los Angeles, as he wasn't too happy with being a healthy scratch for the sixth time in 7 games, and so he requested a trade out of New York, and now he's in Minnesota. Personally, as a Rangers fan, I'm not happy with trading Reaves, but I can understand where he's coming from and why Chris Drury had to do this. I can honestly understand it. He wasn't a guy that was really needed anymore as he was maybe, say, a year or two ago. Reaves was pretty much just traded to New York following the Tom Wilson incident where he injured Artemi Panarin and he would be out for the rest of the season. And that led to that whole brawl right after that game. And that pretty much just led the Rangers saying, you know what, we need this guy. So they traded a third-round pick to get Ryan Reaves. And there was a whole change of scenery going on for the team at that time. I mean, there was a new general manager in Chris Drury. There was a new head coach in Gerard Gallant who used to work with Reaves. And now there were new players who were mostly grinding type guys. And all of these changes actually helped the Rangers. I mean, they would make it to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since 2015. And I mean, for Ryan Reaves, wow, he had a great year last year. For being an enforcer, I mean, 13 points is a lot, okay? And considering the fact that he actually had a 2-goal performance against Toronto, that's even better. But nonetheless, almost nobody messed with the Rangers as they looked a lot tougher. For proof, Ryan Reaves had only 3 fights last year, which was a number that everyone was expecting to be much higher. And a lot of people started to hate the Reaves trade as we started going further and further into 2022 because he wasn't all the best at hockey. But a lot of people just didn't understand what exactly he meant to this team. He brought swagger, he brought edge and intimidation to a team that had not seen this in ages since a guy like Tanner Glass or Michael Haley. Not just his big 6'2" and 225-pound frame, but also his influence on the younger players. The Rangers are still relatively a young team, and Reaves sort of became a leader for this team, along with his jovial sense of humor. You guys should actually go check out the Off the Boards with the Ryans videos. Those are hilarious. They're actually on the Rangers YouTube channel. But going back to Reaves, he had a ton of hits last year, which shows for his fearsome forechecking as he got 279 hits, and a lot of them were pretty big hits. But this year, it sort of became clear that Reaves wasn't providing nearly the same amount of impact at this era of hockey, with tons of ugly stat measures confirming this statement. He had been replaced at the fourth-line right wing spot by Julien Gauthier, who's quicker and more skillful and much younger. But when you take a look at Ryan Reaves' salary, to whom Drury gave an extension through the season, it's become very much unworkable given the Rangers' tight cap situation, as with a 23-man roster, the Blue Shirts had little room for injury maneuvers. Think about it though, I mean, the Rangers, they would not be able to make significant moves to improve. Prior to the March 3rd trade deadline, the Rangers are on pace to accrue $6.7 million in cap space, which would allow them to acquire someone like, hey, I don't know, Chicago Blackhawks star Patrick Kane, if he's available. They got much more cap relief with this move by sending him to Minnesota, and the Rangers didn't seem to realize that they could have gotten more out of this hadn't they traded him earlier, as Tyler Mott was still a free agent and was making the same amount as Reaves. Yet he didn't even sign with the Rangers because there was no cap space, and I think highly of that because of Reaves' contract. But yeah, I guess, he's gone now, so I'm going to certainly miss him. And he was something that as a decade plus long Rangers fan, I've never experienced. From his physical presence and nastiness to his pregame routines with a water bottle and the chesty releases, man, I'm going to miss all of that. He certainly became a fan favorite here on Broadway and was a big part of that bottom six against the Pens and Canes last year in the playoffs. But there's one more thing to it. What I'm currently fearing about this is that what if teams like the Islanders and Bruins, teams with very gritty players, what if they take the liberties to do what the Capitals did to Panarin before Reaves came to Broadway? It seems like the Rangers are definitely tougher now, but they aren't at a level where it's 100% safe to say that, they won't have to experience these things. And I think Revo's presence made it nearly 100% safe, but nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the Ryan Reaves trade that just happened right now. Otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in and have a wonderful day.